Epic Eden here, and guys, I know it's been a while since I've done a tutorial, so I'm going to do a tutorial today. I expressed in my last video, if you even keep up with what it is that I'm doing, because half the time I have no idea what I'm doing. I am just winging it. Guys, I'm going to do a tutorial today, and it's my 19th tutorial, and it's basically because Alan S. Had a question, and it had to do with my shop. And his question basically was, how do I set up commands to sell things, say enchantment books on Breaking 3 or any other enchanted books? And then he said would be very grateful for any help. So I messaged him back, on YouTube. I just replied and I basically gave him step by step how to do it, but I don't know if that's enough. So hopefully, Alan, if you're watching, this is going to answer that question, show you guys how to do things. But I'm going to show you how to sell anything in your shops, absolutely anything. If you can think of something I can't sell, put in the comments down below, call me out on it, and I will own up to it. But guys, let me get set up, and we'll get started on that. All right, guys. So here we go. Let's just get some currency so I can make sure that I'm all set up for everything. Let me just give myself something. Say 1,000 maybe. I don't really need 1,000, but 1,050. Win lose. As you can see, I'm in the workshop in the game Dreams of Darkness. But yeah, I got a lot of cleaning up to do, guys. Don't mind the mess. Let's go to the shop. If you're familiar with the shop, if you go to my playlist tutorials, episode number 13, that's why you recognize this shop. But also, to understand the commands that I'm doing, if you're not familiar with this and that you're actually watching this video now instead of those other videos, there was actually a 5-part series I did, and it started at episode 12 through 17, and that's those in my tutorials. Those will give you the commands that I'm not going to give you here. This is only to be able to sell any item in Minecraft. I don't know why I'm doing that. Just like tearing up carpet. Okay, so let's go up to Kale here. Kale's the main character in Dreams of Darkness, or he's my trusty little ally in Dreams of Darkness, the game. And say we talk to Kale here, and bear in mind, let me switch over to... Yeah, I was actually in the right spot for the first time ever. Let's go to the game mode, adventure. That way, yeah, there we go. I have no advantages there. So let's say you want to go with Kale. And basically, let me just state first, guys. One, I'm not a command block master. I know a lot of commands. I figure out a lot of commands, but I'm not in any way a master. But what makes me kind of good in what I do is if I can't find the answer or I can't find the code that I need, I don't know why I'm yelling. I apologize. But if I can't find the code that I'm looking for, I invent a new way to do things. So basically, the question that I had was how to do enchanted books. I don't know the command for that. But in the game, what I'm currently doing is I'm giving out maps that are made, that are actually locked. So there's no way to write a command block for a map that is locked. So what I have done to get around that is, say I go to the shop owner, ignore diamonds, diamond sword, wooden sword, and stake. Just look right there in the middle where it says map and mystery book. That's what I put in. So let's just say you want a map that is locked and you want players in your world or your realm or whatever it is, server, whatever it is, you want them to be able to purchase, let me get the word out right, those kind of items. So let's say I put it cheap because all I did was change what was in there. Everything else I turned off, diamond source. So if I click on that, nothing's going to happen. A redstone block will go where it's supposed to be. Long story short, let's get back to this. So say I click on map for 100 stone, there it is. I got a map and it's a custom map. So there's no way to really write that in commands. So I had to find a way to get around doing that. And I did. And let's say you want to set up, here he goes, he's got mystery books. Mystery book is basically a random enchanted book that he can buy. And here it's 20, but I mean, of course, that's just numbers. I just didn't feel like changing it, laziness. So he buys a book, voila. Look at that. He's got a random book. The book happens to be Silk Touch 1. Does he want another one? Let's see what he does. Let's get another book. He got another book. And it's efficiency 3. Okay, guys. So how did I do that without using command blocks to give you the actual item? Well, I just used an old trick. I wouldn't say an old trick. Oops. I'm in adventure. Dummy. There we go. Game mode. Let's go back to creative. All right, there we go. In my natural state. So let's just go ahead and tear this all up so I can show you guys what's going on underneath here. Of course, right here, there is a dropper facing up, and inside that dropper are those maps. Okay, so I'm sure some of you are still wondering, well, how did you get the signal to pop up? And this is basically it. And if you've ever seen that episode that I was talking about, episode 12 in the tutorials, you've seen underneath here, but most of the time, or in that video, it's all lined up. So you can actually see 6 rows of command blocks. But in this one, I took out everyone but the outside ones. So on the last command, do you remember this command? Yes? It was the set block to the coordinate to air. So when you talk to this guy, I'm only going to go over a little bit of this. You have to watch that video, guys, and that's my way of getting views, is to get you guys jumping around. I'm just kidding. But you're going to have to watch that video. So if we go to advanced settings in there, you'll see that where he has the set block coordinates redstone. So this in particular one is set to here. Once that redstone block gets placed in there, this redstone or this command block tells it, no, turn it back to air. That basically resets the system so you can continuously use it over and over and over. So I took that idea that was already out there and I said, well, what if I used that same idea to have, let's say, your shopkeeper do other things, like, for instance, give you enchanted books, give you a map. How's that? How would I do that? Well, it's easy. At the very last one, we'll go here. Oh, let me get in here. And let me get this cursor up. Let me get this out of the way. And right here, right after the little, I can't remember the name of those marks, the 3, it normally says give at player, and that's where you give that player the item. So it goes down that whole chain of the shop business. He'd get his item. Instead of putting that as the item to give him, put in set block with the coordinates. I'll show you the coordinates in a second. Redstone block. Now the coordinates for here is right underneath this dropper. That's where I want that redstone signal to go. So when you pay for this, it goes boop, disappears, goes down the line, says redstone block, puts the redstone block, boom, up came the map. Remember, this was the map section. So that's how that works. And then right next to there is basically this block. And what this block does is basically set that same block underneath the dropper to air. So it resets the system all over again. It's that simple, guys. It just takes a little creativity. But like I said, I'm not some whether it comes to redstone or command blocks, I'm not no genius. I just have a knack for getting around systems or using one system to make another system work, or 2 systems to make a whole new kind of system. But I don't create things. I don't, other than, I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But that's basically how you can do anything. Now, how did I do I did that one. How did I do the enchanted books, the random enchanted books? Well, if you look up, hidden up here, voila, there's a dropper right there. And inside that dropper it's sorted random that I put in enchanted books. Well, so this works. I'm going to bust my way through here just to show you. Up here, basically, if you remember what I did down there, you want his last block, you want it to be these coordinates to set the redstone block, so it lights that up, drops the book in. This is basically the same thing that turns the block. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice, losing my train of thought, losing my mind. It'll turn that back into air, so it resets the system. And if you have a big world and you got a lot of people going on, you can build this up with chests, fill this whole thing up with enchanted books, and you'll see that you look at this and go, wait, that's not the traditional way to set up your books and hoppers and all that. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Every single book will feed its way through. It just gives you more of an area to do things. And I've done this several different ways where I can make a huge, and I'll have to do a tutorial on it, a compact hopper system. But it doesn't really matter which way they go as long as every chest has a hopper going into it. Doesn't matter. It'll feed through and it'll all go down into your last hopper or whatever it is your hopper's feeding into. Like I said, someday I'll do a tutorial on that, but I can build some really big ones that are really compact. They're pretty neat. Anyway, so that's basically it. I mean, all the trapdoor here is doing is basically covering that up so it's not noticeable. It's nice and hidden. But that's basically it, guys. I hope that helped out, and I hope Alan S. I hope that answered your question where you can do anything. And when I say anything, let's take a trip out here. When I say anything, I mean you can even sell yourself, let's say, the tile end gateway. Okay, you know we can't get that. Or if you're in Pocket Edition, you can block the bubble, and you can bring it over to somebody in a realm that's on console or Java, and you can actually give that to them. it's really cool. So I'm talking about every item that is possible. Man, every item is for sale. You can, it's just possible. I don't know what word I'm looking for. So I go in here, and let's just say, let's go back to his edit dialogue, because I'm in creative. And we're going to say this time it's a map, but we know we're going to get the, whatchamacallit? Boom, there it is. Just like that, guys. He'll sell you anything. You just name the price that you want to sell. But just remember that last block right there is going to be set the redstone right there. It's that simple, guys. And just be creative with your command blocks with set to air, and you can do a lot of cool things. And now I know that little hamster and your wheels really running around now. I hope I got your imagination flowing there. But that's it for that. What I'm going to do now, guys, is because I have a lot more views on my tutorials, sadly, but it's true. And nobody's really seeing the game that's being built. And I'm almost done to the point where I'm about to test this thing. Let me turn this annoying thing off so we don't have it. I still have to set the clock so it erases offline players. I just haven't gotten around to it. So basically, I just want to show you the game real quick, guys, and show you what it's all about. The end of the tutorial is over. If you want to leave, that's fine. But if you're interested in finding out what this game is I'm building and what it's all about, stick around, and it will take 5 minutes, and I'll run around and show you as much as possible, and I will leave you in the dark on what it is because it's very hard to explain. So, okay, so this isn't where you start the game, but this is the center of the game. So, guys, basically, this is a huge maze, and this maze is going to go on. It's going to have 12 circles. So this would be the first one, this would be the second one, this would be the third one, fourth one, fifth one, all the way to 12 out there. That's how big this game is. And this is all I've gotten done. I've gotten the center, and I've gotten I've gotten I've gotten quite a bit done. I've gotten the center and then all around the center. So I got this done. That's the center. As you can see it on the map right there where the green little dot is. And I've gotten all the maps around that done as well, as you can see. Just keep in mind, I'm not on the realms right now. I'm on my personal PS4. So the render distance is much further. And if you've watched my videos, you'll understand that I hate the render distance in realms because you wouldn't be able to see the Roman statue. You could see the Big Baron, the Wizard barely, and other things. But now that I'm not on the realm, my render distance is maxed out. So basically, guys, it's basically a huge maze. There's treasure you have to find. There's all sorts of goodies. And you trade those in for ores, which you trade in. In the treasure chest, there'll be swords, there'll be craftable items, there will be workshops for you to make, there will be mobs spawning in everywhere. Some of them will be spawners, some of them will just be random. The important thing is it's on hard, so you have to eat. So there'll be animals spawning in randomly, in the areas that they can spawn in. Like, for instance, they can't spawn here because it's path. But there'll be areas like here you'll have animals and mobs spawning in here. So you want to kill the animals, you want to cook the meat or eat the meat, eat the meat raw, which is your choice. But that's how you survive in this game, by finding weapons, getting money, And the main objective to the game is to find the dragon statues. There's 12 of them, and like I said, it's 12 rings, so there'll be one dragon statue per ring. Um, so it's basically you have to find 12 end portals. You have to take them, the end portals, whatever. You have to take them, and there's a place where you can talk to Kale, and he'll put them into place for you, so you can open up the end, so you can go fight the end dragon, and that's how you beat the game. But the game is super long. It's basically an RPG game. There are traders everywhere. If you've ever watched a series, or just like what you saw here, there's traders that actually sell things. And this is Speed Ray. And if nobody knows who Speed Ray is the guy that's helping me build this game. He's excellent, really, really good builder. He's got a great imagination, and he's a hard worker. And he doesn't have a YouTube channel to go support him, or he doesn't anymore. He used to. But you'll find these guys everywhere. And basically, all the traders' names will be subs of the channel to give back as a thanks. So there'll be that, and they'll be located everywhere. There's other places where I'm not going to show you the hidden places where you can actually find those completed maps. So you'll find a map of this whole area to help you out with. There's two types of maps. One's a map block, where you just get a map, and the other one's a locator map where you can actually see your way through the maze. It's really, really cool. So that way when you're walking through the maze, you can have it in your offhand, and you can actually navigate through the maze. But keep in mind, there are areas with trees. Some areas go underground. So it's a little hard. It's hard to see that on the map, that these areas do these things. There's a whole, what's the word? A catacomb system underneath that is like a shortcut travel, but it only takes you to certain areas. We have the pit over here, which has a vertical horizontal maze, which is really neat. You'll find traders in here. You will find a map, and this is the first place where you can actually find a map that actually it's locked in, and it actually guides you through the maze, meaning it shows you exactly which way to go. It's like you cannot fail. Also, some of the traders will actually trade you maps, so you can buy them. It's a bit pricey, but like I said, there's treasure throughout this whole area. Not only that, mob drops, you can trade those in for stones, which is the currency. So it's really, really neat, and you got to find your way around here. In your little exploration of it, you'll find statues and builds from other YouTubers that you'll probably recognize. This one's done by good old Rusty. The Big Baron Dragon. There are 12 dragons. They're all different, and that's where all the endstones will be. There will be places to go to the actual Nether, where there's other stuff going on. So then that's a whole different thing, but there's no cheat maps in that one. So, but there's just a lot of things going on, and it's not just on the surface, the maze. If you go into the pyramid, the whole pyramid is a maze in itself. If you go into the mines are a whole underground maze with a maze on top of it. There are, I haven't put them in yet, but there's going to be buildings that every floor is just basically a maze until you get to the top floor. That's your goals in those buildings. But everything has, let's say, everything has a purpose. So when you beat something, you will be rewarded for beating it. And it'll be something that will help you along the way. You'll see things that are vanilla Minecraft, say this Pillager Outpost, for example, and the Woodland Mansion. There are beds. You cannot sleep in this game. So that way you can't fast forward time. So if it's raining and thundering, it's going to rain and thunder until it stops. If it's daytime, it's going to wait till nighttime. If it's nighttime, you can't sleep and fast forward time. You can't sleep. You can't get rid of the phantoms. Everything is in there. So you just got to play with it. But there are beds, and the beds are very important. The beds basically allow you to put checkpoints. So as you get through the game, you can actually use checkpoints. There's also sellers that will teleport you places. So, and I didn't show you that in that video, but I think you can understand on that last block, you can set that to basically put it to another command block that teleports you wherever it is you want. So if you can understand that, if you guys need another tutorial for that, I can make another tutorial for that. But hopefully you got that. If you watch this whole video, I know it's long and I know it's long-winded, guys, but it's very important. I just want to get this out there because this is almost ready for testing, and if you'd like to be a part of the testing phase, or if, like I always say, if you're a builder and you want to come in here and build, that's up to you. I welcome the help. This thing is very big. This part of the maze I just started. It's taken me like 5 days. I've torn it down, built it, torn it down. Speed rays come in, kind of try to help get some ideas. This part of it is because it goes into parkour, maze, puzzles. This is the first puzzle. If the player completes this part of the game, they will get a what's the name? I can't think of the name right now. It's not a diamond. It's all right. That's it. That's it. I gotta look it up. I can't believe I didn't. I couldn't remember. A netherite sword. That's what you'll get. Whether it's enchanted or not, it depends on how well you solve the mystery behind the forge. And the forge is just before the mines. But anyway, like I said, things go everywhere. The maze goes literally. Look, it keeps going up. It goes up the mountain. And this is the end of the map, so there's no more done. But it's on top of the mountain, so there'll be snow. There'll be all sorts of cool things going on, guys. There'll be just playing sounds. It's going to be chaos when you first get in here. But like I said, it should be a lot of fun, and we should be testing it out next week, hopefully, because I have a lot of commands to put in here to make things happen. I got to put in the shortcuts for the scribes, and I didn't show you the very beginning with the spaceship. Or the darkness ships and all that. That's really cool. You get to see all that when you first join the game. But if you guys are interested in this and you would like an invite to the realm, so you can actually come in and check it out and just fly around. You won't be able to do anything, but you can actually get in the game and fly around and look at everything and go inside and do whatever it is you want to do. But just, you won't be able to break anything, place anything, or anything like that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed this little tour through Dreams of Darkness, the game. And, guys, I'll see you next video.